We were waiting for a certain package to arrive. We were expecting it to come a few months later, but recently came in. Pretty cool. There it is, folks.
Machines are breaking left and right. Currently we're dealing with resin pump issues. The pump system we have has like a little cup, and you oil it and you clean it, and honestly for a year and a half it's worked great. But it got to a point where stuff crystallized too much. We disassembled it to clean it out, and in the process of it being disassembled, it crystallized all over the pistons and super tight tolerance fitting things, and most importantly some valves. The way that the pump works, when you push down, it loads the resin in from the reservoir, and when it pulls up, it pushes it out. So you have to have a valve on the top that lets it go through, but then clamps, and you have to have a valve on the bottom that lets it push out, but then when you are pumping down, it clamps. We ordered replacements, and we got all of them in except for the top valve. So this is our ultrasonic cleaner. It's currently up to 46 degrees. And this is oil that helps kind of break down and like lubricate that part A. You maybe can see right on that side, there's like a white kind of goopy something. So this is supposed to go down, boop, and then when you pump the pump down, it loads this reservoir up, and then when you release it, that has to close, so it pumps out of these. So this like almost salty looking stuff on this side, that's what this resin, which normally is like this, it's what it turns into once it gets moisture. It's actually very salty. Well, not taste-wise, but like in composition. James is right now using ketchup bottles and mixing them instead of the pump, which like slows down our resin production by about half.
Ketchup bottles.
Yeah.
Whatever works, I guess.
Summer fulfillment. We just fulfilled Attack on Zvezda 13, filled the Commonwealth. We are in the midst of fulfilling Night Thirst. We have like a ton of vampires just on the shelf ready to go. We got the books back signed from Witty, and we were in the midst of all of this surprised by a pallet of Breacher books. Normally they hit the coast, they get unloaded off a ship, hit customs, and we're given a little notification that says, hey, it's being processed and it'll ship out to you soon. It'll ship out to you soon. In this case, it shipped out to you recently, and by recently, I mean it was already in our shop. This is something we've been meaning to do now for years, and we're gonna do it. Gonna talk a little bit about the faction highlights, how factions play, what makes them different from one another, and going to start with the first three factions we released, which is United States, Soviet Union, and then CNSA Taikonauts right there. These guys are kind of your baseline stats. 3 mobility is good, 4 resilience is good. In this case, the commander has a 2 competency. He's well trained, he's good. If my NASA guy has a buddy within 4 inches, and I'm making a D6 competency roll of 4, I need a 5 or a 6 to succeed, so that +1 goes from 4 up to a 5. Boom, I succeeded at whatever I was attempting there. It encourages unit cohesion, keeping your units together, working as a team, and that's NASA. So the USSR can take a little look at his commander's stat block. Same mobility, same competency, slightly more resilient. Their suits are a little bit tougher. Additionally, you'll see that their mass starts at 5 instead of 4. It goes up to 10. This means that the USSR are a bit more brutish. They're a bit more brute force. They're a bit better in close combat. They're a little bit better in just straight up fighting and overcoming the enemies. The last one that we have is the Taikonauts. The Taikonauts, if NASA is the all-rounders and Cosmonaut are the brutes, then the Taikonauts are the overwhelming numbers. A Taikonaut crew, when you start out a campaign, will actually have a commander, a medical or tech or mission or combat specialist, as well as 2 generalists. So Taikonaut crews will actually start with 4 models, whereas the OSSR would have 3. While their individuals may not be as good as other individuals, they generally have another person, which means that if you tie up 3 of your people in close combat, you still have this 4th guy that can run around and do things. So in short, United States, jack of all trades, pretty good at everything, not excellent at anything, but as a team effort, they get the job done. Cosmonauts, a little bit tougher, a little bit slower, really good at combat. That's what they excel at. The Taikonauts, a little bit lighter, a little bit faster, and generally have more on the board to overwhelm you with numbers. That's the 3 first factions that we released for Lunar. We also have the Freelancers and ESA, we have the ISRO and JAXA, and now we have the Commonwealth. All of those 5 as well have their own kind of unique play styles and abilities, and we'll touch on those in some further videos. Thanks for listening to this Lunar Connor Talk. Perfect.
I know he was talking about the killer a while ago,
I thought he was gonna kill me.
but he used to be in the bathroom in the other office, and one day I came in at 6 in the morning, completely forgot about it, had to go to the bathroom so bad. Ran into that bathroom, opened the door, and I wasn't thinking, and there was just a serial killer with a sack mask on. Screamed as loud as I ever did in my life, fell on my butt, and then had a moment to just sit there and go, oh man, I'm glad no one's here to have seen that.
Well, now they know.
Now they know.
Well, at least you relieved yourself early that day.
Yeah.